Fire fairies come, fire fairies come, and the fire fairies come. Once upon a time there lived a boy who lived with his mother on the common. His mother was very poor and she got her living by spinning. But Jack would do nothing but sit in the sun all day long. And he would sit in the corner of the hearth in the winter time. Everybody called him Lazy Jack. His mother couldn't get him to do anything until finally one day she told him, "Jack, if you do not start to earn your porridge, then I will have to turn you out and you will have to find your own living." This roused Jack, and he hired himself to a neighboring farmer for a penny. But Jack had never had any money before. He lost the penny as he walked over the brook. "You silly boy, you should have put it in your pocket." "Oh, I'll do that next time," said Jack. So the next day, Jack hired himself to a cowkeeper for a jar of milk in return. Jack took the jar of milk and put it in his pocket, spilling it long before he got home. "Dearie me," said the old woman, "you should have carried it on your head." "Oh, I'll do so the next time," said Jack. On the Wednesday, Jack hired himself to another farmer for a large wheel of cheese in return. Jack took the wheel of cheese and placed it on his head. But by the time he got home, half was missing. It had spoilt, and the other half was matted in his hair. "You silly lout, you should have carried it in your hands." "Oh, I'll do so the next time," said Jack. On the Friday, Jack went out again and hired himself to a local baker, who gave him nothing but a large tomcat in return. Tom carefully picked up the heavy cat and placed him in his hands and began to walk home. But it wasn't long before the kitty cat scratched his hands and Jack had to let go. "Oh my goodness," said his mother, "you should have tied some string around its neck and pulled it alongside next to you." "Oh, I'll do so the next time," said Jack. On the Saturday, Jack hired himself to a butcher, who rewarded him with a grand present of a shoulder of mutton. Jack tied some string around the mutton and pulled it alongside him, dragging it through the dirt. And by the time he got home, it was spoilt. His mother really lost her patience at this point. For the next day was Sunday, and she was obliged to accept that she was just going to have cabbage for her dinner. "You ninny hammer, you should have picked it up and put it on your shoulder." "Oh," said Jack, "I'll do so the next time." The next Monday, Jack went out again and hired himself to a cattle keeper, and in return for his services gave him a donkey. Jack carefully tried to pick up the donkey and put on his shoulder, and eventually he did so, and he began to slowly, carefully walk home. Little did Jack know that on his journey home there lived a very rich man who lived with his daughter. His daughter could not speak and could not hear, and she had never laughed before. And the doctor had told him, once she laughs, she will get her hearing and be able to speak again. Her father tried everything to make her laugh, but nothing worked. On this particular day, the young girl was looking out of the window when she saw Jack walking with a donkey on his shoulder, and the donkey's legs were flopping around in the air. It was so comical that she began to burst into a fit of laughter. Her father came running in to see what was going on, and sure enough, she began to speak again, and she got her hearing back. The father was overjoyed that he ran out of the house to call on Lazy Jack and tell him what he had done. When Lazy Jack went to go and meet his daughter, they fell in love with each other right away, and the father promised that they would marry, which made Lazy Jack a very wealthy man, and they lived in a large house with his mother, and they all lived happily ever after. Fire fairies burning bright, thank you for your golden light. Good night. Snip, snap, snout, my tale is all told out.